So we were talking about what happened with Richie Incognito and Jonathan Martin on the Miami Dolphins that Zirin wrote his article about. And I explained to a couple groups that Zirin is a sports writer. He writes about sports and he writes about culture because those two things are very closely related. You know, sports has a big influence on our culture and our culture has an influence on sports. And the NFL is a hyper-masculinist subculture of our larger culture, right? Everything that we think about, that Kimmel wrote about, that Hall wrote about, comprising our idea of masculinity is grossly exaggerated in sports, and especially in football, right? At least that's what they argue. I said to a couple of folks that the NFL is like masculinity on steroids. And that's literally true and figuratively true, right? They literally take steroids to get bigger. And, you know, steroids make you more aggressive also. Okay, and sports, especially football, is a very aggressive undertaking, isn't it? It's all about smashing your opponent, right? So that's the excuse they give for the way they behave, okay? The locker room code of silence is about, you know, those people out there in the culture aren't going to understand us. They don't understand football, okay, the way we do. They don't understand that you have to not just be tough, right? You have to be a killer. You can't be soft in any way in football, right, you guys? Okay, you can't have it show any vulnerability at all. So we're going to go after your sister, right? We're going to threaten to rape her just to toughen you up. And that's necessary. This is their rationale for why they behave the way they do. Those of you who looked it up might know this. Okay? But, you know, Jonathan Martin wasn't into it. He said, forget you guys. I am not doing this. And it doesn't have to be this way. It shouldn't be this way. All right, so he called them out. And they took him apart. He had to leave the sport. That's what happened to Jonathan Martin. Okay, he had to quit the team and quit football. And how do you think that football fans reacted to this, you guys? What's your guess? I know you probably weren't paying attention at the time this happened, but you can guess based on what you know about culture. How do you think football fans reacted to Jonathan Martin? Do you think they were sympathetic to him?
They probably felt embarrassed for him.
Okay, embarrassed why?
Because they thought he should be handling his own problems like a man should be handling his own problems.
Yeah.
They probably thought he wasn't manly enough.
Yes, Itzel. Okay. So, and these are football fans who knew the details of what Richie Incognito as the team captain and leader and the rest of the players on this team did to Jonathan Martin, to haze him. Okay. These football fans knew, right? And still they said, you know what? Suck it up, dude. Don't be a pussy. Sorry. Right? Think about all of the language that men use to shame other men, you guys. Think about all the words they use. What are some of them? What are some of the words that men use to shame other men? Zirin wrote about some of them.
Wimp.
Sorry, Itzel?
Like
if you guys, wimp, okay, that's a nice one. If you guys don't want to say these words, you can type them in chat, okay? But again, sissy, thank you, Maria, that's a relatively nice one too. But sissy comes from the word sister, doesn't it, you guys? Which is a female. So what are some other female things? Other fag, okay, so that's a gay person. Thank you, Maria. Sorry for saying that. Okay, on a recording. but we're talking about culture. We're all accepted, right? We don't talk this way. We don't think this way. We're talking about culture. You know, Ashley said the P word that I said before that I don't feel like saying again. And she typed it. Good. Maggot. Okay, thank you, Pablo. Okay, what about bitch? Okay, you hear guys calling other guys bitch, right? A little bitch. Don't be a little bitch, right? There, I said it 3 times. Queer, that's another one. So anything that has to do with being female, right? Or being a feminized man, those are the kinds of slurs that men apply to other men in order to shame them for not being manly enough. There we go. Thank you, Maria. Maria typed it. Thank you. Clown. Yeah, sure. Racial slurs too, right? Because as Kimmel points out, and Ashley said this, racial slurs, as Kimmel points out, right? Race is feminized, right? Because the dominant man in our culture is a white male with money. That's the dominant man. That's the masculine ideal. Okay, is a white male with money. Okay, and everybody else is less manly in proportion to that. Okay, and race is one of the ways that men feminize other men. Okay, they're not as manly, especially Asian men get feminized a lot. They're seen as not being very masculine by our standards. Okay, but all of these terms that refer to women and their body parts, the C word, which I'm not going to say, that one is especially vile. All right, but Richie Incognito called Jonathan Martin that. He called him the C word on purpose, because that's how you know you're a man, is if you're not a woman. And this is the point Kimmel makes, right? Remember that, you guys? Give me a thumbs up if you remember that point from Kimmel. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Nancy. All right, so I'm trying to bring it all together here in this last discussion that we have about these texts before you guys write your rough draft of essay 2. Yay, right? Okay, so what are some other things you guys talked about? Thank you, Robert. You're happy about your rough draft. What else? I'm going to riff on what you guys talked about. I don't want to be the one doing all the freaking talking. It's exhausting. But I want to help you unpack these things, but I want to build on the things that you guys say, the things you guys notice. What are some other things? You can type, you can speak.
We talked about how this behavior leads to other behaviors such as sexism, violence, also bullying, abuse, suicide.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Ashley. Oh, there goes my neck. You guys, I read all of your posts about the mask you live in, and I left you a post commending you on your discussion, those of you who participated in that discussion forum in Canvas. You know, and a lot of the females who watched that documentary and responded to it were surprised to learn that men suffer the way they do. They were surprised to learn that. You know, and there's a reason for that. They don't talk about it. It's a catch-22. You just have to suffer in silence, and then nobody knows you're suffering, and then they can't help you, you know? So, you know, I appreciate you guys, you know, responding to that with empathy, right? Because we have to change that. We can't have boys killing themselves or going to jail, you know, or hurting their, you know, their wives or their, you know, their girlfriends, or, you know, or ignoring their daughters if they're a father, right? Or teaching their boys that they can't express any emotion other than anger. We can't have that. We have to change that. Right, parents in this meeting? Right, brothers and sisters? Okay, right, cousins? You guys all have people that you deal with that have been gendered by the society in ways that are harmful to them. And males are in there too. We've been talking a lot about females. All right, but boys commit suicide at higher numbers than girls, largely because they're not allowed to express any emotions other than anger. I'm checking to make sure my door is closed because I'm going to talk about the men in my family and I don't want them to hear me.
Yes.
Okay, but my husband and my son are so sensitive, you guys. They're so sensitive, right? But they never say you hurt my feelings. And I can see them instantly converting hurt feelings to anger, because that is the acceptable emotion for them to express. I can see the switch. Okay, I can see it switching where they go, oh, that hurts me, but wait a minute, I'm mad about it, right? And I'm going to stomp around and bang things and yell at people, okay, because you hurt my feelings. Guys, do you ever hear a man say, you hurt my feelings? Do they say that? No, Nancy's like, oh.
Never. They never say that.
Yeah, you know, I have to read that in to my husband's behavior, you know, because he's not going to say it. He's learning. He's learning to say it, but it's not automatic because that is conditioned out of boys. Let me show you something. Hang on. Let me show you something. Okay, sorry you guys. Let me just do this real quick. Let me say okay and get rid of that. Okay, this is the thing I want to show you. I wanted to show you this last week when we were talking about Kimmel. Okay, but we didn't have time. But this illustrates the boys can't cry thing. Watch this, you guys. And tell me if you can hear it, okay? If you can't hear it, let me know.
Yes. Give me your hand. Hold your hand, okay?
Can you hear it? Chat yes if you can hear it. Or say yes.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, I will continue to play it. Okay, this little boy is getting his immunizations. Here it goes.
You got it? Okay, you looking scared. I'm looking scared. Yeah, I know.
Scared.
You're a big boy, right?
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna count to 3. I say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, okay? Now look at Dad.
Look at me.
Ready?
Say cheese.
Cheese.
Big boy.
1, 2, 3.
Big boy. Be a man.
Ah.
Oh, big boy, don't cry. You got it. Don't
Awesome,
cry.
okay.
Don't cry.
1, 2,
Me,
3.
you got it. Oh, big boy.
You're
High
done.
five.
You
High
are
five.
done. You did awesome.
Say you a man. I'm a man. Say you can't say it. I'm sorry, so I'm still laughing at you. It's okay. It's
High
okay.
five, high five. Big high five.
It's
Good
okay.
job. You
Okay.
wanna come down? You wanna come down? 1, 2, 3.
See? What you got?
So good.
What you gotta say? Say I'm a man. You can't
Say it out. Say it out.
say I'm a man. High five.
You did awesome.
Turn the camera on so you can cry, okay?
Same.
Oh my God. You guys, did you hear how uncomfortable the both of those adults were with that little tiny boy crying? Even the female, I think that was a female nurse giving the shots. It sounded like it. I didn't see her, but I could hear her voice. And even she was uncomfortable. The minute that little boy started crying, They wanted to stop it, right? Does that happen with little girls, you guys? No, no.
No.
What would happen if that was a little girl getting her shots?
She would be comforted.
Yeah, she'd be comforted. That little boy didn't even get a hug. At least not in that shot that we saw. Maybe his dad hugged him later, right? But right, some of you said 8 was the first time you were told to be a man, right? The males that posted in the discussion forum on the Mask You Live In. But it starts really young, doesn't it? Little boys are not allowed to cry, and it's crazy. It hurts to get a shot, and it's scary to get a shot. I'm still scared to get shots. I haven't got my flu shot yet, okay? Because I hate it. But it's different for little boys than it is for little girls, and it shouldn't be that way. I'm here to say it, okay? And that shouldn't be a controversial statement. But in some places it still is. All right? So what else did you guys talk about? Should I call on people? Let's see, who haven't I heard from yet? Angel, I don't think I've heard from you yet, at least not in the main meeting. What did you guys talk about in your group? What's one thing you discussed that stuck with you that you thought was important or interesting in your group? Okay, Damien is typing at me. Both men and women have similar experiences in terms of being a man or woman, Damien says. Thank you, Damien. And in what sense? How are they similar? What is similar about their experience? That they're pressured to act in a certain way, yes. Okay, so both males and females experience pressure from society. And Andrew says there are certain expectations both feel the need to fulfill, right? And remember one of the questions that I asked you to respond to about Mary Pfeiffer's article, Saplings in the Storm, is does she think girls experience more pressure than boys? And I think we all agree that she thinks that, right? She thinks girls experience more pressure than boys, right? But I would be disinclined to agree with her, right? I think that we all experience pressure, and we just don't know that boys experience it. You know, because they don't talk about it, and that's part of the acculturation. It's a vicious feedback loop, right? Where we don't know that they're having these problems because masculinity tells them they can't tell us that they're having these problems. They can't even tell each other, right? Unless they're really close, unless they have a really close guy friend, and then they can confide in that buddy that they're having problems. Okay, but even then it's fraught. What kinds of conversations do men have, you guys? When men talk to each other, what are their conversations about? And this might be one for just the males in this meeting. They talk about sports, Angel said. Thank you, Angel. Robert agrees. Sports. Is that about it?
They talk about other women.
They talk about sex. Okay?
And other
and it's
men.
got, Maria says women. Thank you. Go ahead, Ashley. Sorry.
Oh, no, I just said they talk about other women and also each other, like about things they've done or gonna do.
Yeah, two women, right? Or, you know, I would prefer to say with women, right? But it's really two women, right? Or the things that women do for them.
Well, when I go fishing with the guys, because I'm always the only female there, they're always like about their fish, you know, like who got the biggest fish or a certain species of the fish. So when I catch mine, they're like, just a different reaction. Yeah, if there is any.
Yeah, but it's about who got the biggest fish, right? Because dominance is a male value. You got to get the biggest. So you have to have the biggest, you know, whatever body part, right? And then you have to do the biggest thing and be the baddest ass in the group. All right. Tyler says they complain about things only other guys understand. Oh, they talk about games. Yes. Okay. And video games and other games. What kinds of things do only other guys understand, Tyler? What are some things that only guys understand, you guys? Edgar says talking smack about others. And females do that too, right? So the stereotype about women is that women gossip, right, you guys? Women are the ones who gossip and not men. Men don't gossip. Is that true? Thank you, Nancy. Right? No, men gossip. Men gossip about other men. And what kinds of things do you think men say about other men when they're gossiping?
I worked at a dealership, and I would hear the mechanics and all their conversations. You know, when a girl's around, woman's around, they'll kind of like soften it up. But when they're with just the guys, there's no filter.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, you know, sometimes I would catch them saying something, they look at me, they're like, "Did you hear that?" You know, and I think so. I think from my opinion, my experience, men gossip just as much as women do. And I think from all these, from the films to the articles, we're not that different.
No, we're not. We're all human beings, right? But we're socialized to present ourselves as if we are different, to perform differently, right? Which brings me to the essay that you guys have to write. Okay, gender construction, which we've been talking about a lot, how we in our culture construct gender. It's not a natural thing. It's something we make up. Right? So this idea that boys will be boys, that it's okay for them to catcall women and they shouldn't be held responsible for that behavior because it's just in their nature and they can't help it, right? Let me show you another video. All right, let me show you this one. Let me make sure my screen is optimized to share video. Yes, it is. Okay.
Oh, mami, ven aquí por favor un momento. Sexy too.
Can you guys hear that? Yeah? Yes, thank you, Liz.
You got a name, gorgeous? Beautiful. See this shit right here, face? Hold on, hold on. Beautiful, don't do that. Gorgeous. Sweetheart.
Street harassment is a daily thing for me. And just to find out what really makes a man do that, I stopped them and I asked them a few questions on their opinion about it, why they do it, knowing that some find it intimidating and some find it harassment. What does it really matter to me what you say or how you're going about things? I still know your intention.
First thing go to my head is I would the shit out of her. That's the bottom line. That's the first thing I think when I see you walking by and you're gorgeous. I don't know shit from you. I don't know nothing about you, your past, if you got kids, nothing. You figure you around guys, you getting that wolf mentality. Sometimes just come out because you know a shorty not really going to stop you. But at the same time, later on, she talking about me. She thinking about it even for a hot second.
What if you get the vibe that she's really, really uncomfortable with the attention? Like, what do you do then?
Because they get it every day. Like Hush, I could tell. How many times guys talk to you a day or try?
And because it's so constant, I try to avoid confrontation and just go for the more friendly way. Like, I'm sorry, I have this going on, or I can't speak to you right now. I'm in a rush, and I'll play it off smoothly without any disrespect towards you, however you come off. But then it's like you said, you get in a group and it's wolves, so it's not like it's wolves attacking me, and I don't know which one is the one looking at me like prey, like me, and which one is the nice guy. So my security for that has me on a safeguard, like raising my wall. Not only do I cross the street, I go the whole opposite way and take an alternative route just to avoid certain situations, because they are like, oh, what's up? And they'll come on some touching me, like, don't touch me, you know?
Because there's a lot of crazies out here regardless, so they got reason to be concerned, and I can see how they come off being scared. I've seen them. I got 5 sisters, so I've seen females be nervous. I've seen my sisters come home mad about, you know what I mean? Oh, these up here, this, that, and the other. So I understand, you know what I mean? But it's just the way things just roll, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's a societal thing. Yes, it's too many people to be out here trying to change it and whatever.
Was he right that street harassment will never go away? Does everyone think like him? I decided to ask some teens I knew, including guys who I know don't harass girls, what they thought.
Right. I just feel like guys have a lot of pressure on them when it comes to, maybe asking a girl out, or or even trying to get her attention. Well, basically, we have perceived women for a very long time, especially us guys, that they are these sex symbols. And if a man doesn't go like, damn, like, like that girl looks really good, your guy friends would stand there and be like, well, dude, like, you don't agree with me, or like, hey, like, are you blind or something, or are you gay? Like, what's going on with you? Oh, we all put a mask of, or a persona of who we really are, and so we would be accepted more in society, because society has created this act.
I don't think that all men know the physical threat that they pose to girls. I think some of them do. And I think some of them use that like to their advantage. I think that society can change. We just have to be willing to change. If we start now from this generation, like our teenage generation, we raise children to be people that, just, are respectful to others.
I wouldn't sexually harass a girl because I'm afraid that she's gonna slap me in the face real hard. Also, I wouldn't do it because my mom is a girl, my sisters are girls. So if I disrespect other girls, it's like I'm disrespecting my mom or my sisters.
Government should implement too laws against street harassment or some kind of control. So I think if there's gonna be something like a prohibition against street harassment, people's gonna be more conscious and gonna take it more seriously. Doesn't mean it's gonna be a change in men's mind about women's, but at least it's gonna be a change in their behavior.
This guy's like, oh, hey, mommy. And I'm just like, I'm 15. Why are you talking to me? And I don't know, like, they think it's like complimenting me, but it's really like making me really uncomfortable.
There it is, right? I didn't have to have you read all of those things. I could have just showed you that video, right? They pretty much sum it up, don't they? All of them. Okay, they sum it up. It's wolves attacking me. She's so cute. Isn't she cute? And aren't the young men cute in that video? They're so cute. and they know what's up. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking to you about this stuff now and just talk to you about what's coming up. Okay. Hang on. Let me share my screen with you again. Alrighty. Let me not optimize this time. Alrighty, so here's what's coming up. Okay. First of all, you have to pick a topic for essay 2. All right, here's that assignment, to pick a topic. All righty, and here's the assignment sheet for essay 2. All right, and this stuff right here is also in the assignment sheet, but you can preview this, you can take a look at it. There's the stuff I was just showing you. Okay, and here's the broad topic described that you should read and make sure you understand, and if not, email me and I'll help you clarify anything that's not clear. All right, but the first thing you need to do is pick a topic for essay 2, because this is a really broad subject that we've been talking about. There are lots and lots of aspects of it, okay? And it's just a 3 to 5 page essay, you guys. It's 3 to 5 pages that you're gonna write on this topic. And I don't want you to deal with it superficially. All right, sorry about that, Ashley. Sorry you only saw a black screen. I just saw that comment. Oh, now you only see a black screen, Ashley? Is that what you're saying? Yes? The whole time, right now, you guys, can you guys see the screen, my screen, you guys?
I can
Yes,
see
Pablo
it.
can. Sorry, Maria, you were saying?
I can see it.
You can see it? Huh, I don't know what's up, Ashley, but this is being recorded, so hopefully it's not black in the recording and you'll be able to watch it. All right, so as I was saying, a 3 to 5 page essay is what you're writing here, and I want you to go deep. All right, I want you to deal with an aspect of this issue in depth, okay, and not just skate over the surface because you're trying to cover too much. So that's why I'm asking you to pick a specific thing to focus on for this essay. And these are suggestions, okay, for things to focus on so that you can go into depth about one of these aspects of this issue. This is one we haven't talked about, okay? We've been sort of just talking around the edges of this. But gender norms and non-conformity, people who say, you know what, I'm not doing any of that, okay? Because we think of gender as a binary thing in our culture, right? It's either male or female, at least generally, that's changing. And there are people all along a spectrum here who do not want to do either male or female, right? There are people born in a male body who don't want to be a male in terms of their gender, the way they present themselves, right? There are people who are queer who don't identify as either male or female. They just want to be androgynous, okay? So this is an aspect you can focus on. And let me show you this website where you can go to look at some sources that will help you, if you need it, zero in on a specific aspect of this topic. Okay, this is the course website that I showed you guys before. And these are the categories. Masculinity and violence is one aspect of this topic you can focus on. And these are a bunch of sources about that. This one is about, this one is about gaming. Okay, Anita Sarkeesian is a female gamer. And did you guys know girls aren't supposed to play video games? They're not supposed to play video games, and they're not supposed to write about it, okay? So that's what this is about how she was harassed online for being a female gamer. And this is a bunch of other stuff about masculinity and violence. And this is about gender and health. And these things overlap, you guys, right? Gender and health and mental, emotional, and physical health overlap with where is it? Gender and body image. Sorry, I'm scrolling through here kind of fast because I'm running out of time. But that's one of the top things you can focus on is gender and body image, right? Male, female, both or neither. Okay, I should add neither to that. All right, and these things overlap, but I want you to pick one to focus on, and then you can discuss the others secondarily. All right, but if you're going to talk about body image, then you're also going to need to talk about health, right? Because as you know from Pfeiffer and Hall, a person's body image affects their health. Their mental health, their physical health, their emotional health. People with a body dysmorphia, that's a mental illness. Eating disorders are a mental and a physical illness. Okay, so that's this assignment, that you need to pick a specific topic and then submit it to this assignment. Let me know what your specific topic is. And then the next thing you need to do is do a pre-writing exercise. That's this assignment right here. And it's pretty clearly explained in your assignment sheet and in this assignment. And then you need to write a rough draft. So let's look at that one and submit it by noon on the 28th. That's in 5 days. You guys can do this. All right, and I need you to submit it by noon, you guys. Otherwise, my peer review system doesn't work. Look, this is what I do to assign peer review. I go in here, and then there's all of you, and then I make this number 2, and then I click Assign Peer Review. And if you guys haven't submitted your rough draft by noon, then you're not going to get an assignment. And then I have to ask you to let me know when you're going to submit your draft, and then I have to watch my email to make sure you submitted it, and it's a whole thing. All right, so 2 pages, just 2 pages. That's all you need to do for your rough draft. Enough so that your peers have something to respond to. Oops, sorry, I'm clicking around like crazy. Let me go back. There we go, there's the assignment. And here are a couple of samples that you can look at. Ashley, can you see this now? I can see you. Yeah, okay, good. These are essays written by students previously that received good grades. So you can look at these and see the kind of thing that you're going for here. All right, oops, I have to change that date. That's wrong. That's from last fall. That's a mistake. I need to fix that. I'll do that one after I let you guys go. Okay, are there any questions about any of that stuff I just talked about really fast? Again, this is being recorded, so I will process it. It's a whole process to do these videos, you guys. It takes a ton of time. Okay, that's why they don't go up right away. But I'll send this video out in an announcement so that you guys can review these instructions that I'm giving you now. And then peer review is on the 28th. Okay, all right, it's 2:25. I gotta let you go. Oh, I've got some questions in the chat. Do we just do one specific topic? Yes, Pablo, you're gonna focus on one topic. One of those suggestions or something that you come up with on your own that will help focus your analysis of gender construction and performance. All right, thank you, Robert. I'm glad you enjoyed the class. I'm glad you double checked, Pablo. And if you guys have any questions for me after I end the meeting, email me, okay? All right, you guys, have a good weekend. All right, take care of yourselves and your families.